So first, we have Angel V4. Angel V4 is both good for grinding and PvP. Angel V4 is very good for grinding thanks to its ability to be able to infinite stun NPC, which makes it act like a Logia. The infinite stun also works on raid NPC, which makes it very good for raids. It is good for PvP because you can literally stun a person anytime you want if you are close enough. On top of that, the aura deals decent damage each stun hit. So I'm giving this an S tier. Next we have Cyborg V4. Cyborg V4 is by far the best for grinding normal NPC because the orbs allow you to attract all NPC at once and deal so much damage. If you hit an NPC and do 2400 damage, you will do 1200 extra damage thanks to the orbs. The electrifying effect does small tick damage, and the more you hit the NPC, the more the tick damage goes up. For raids, it is alright, but it is especially good for normal grinding. For PvP, it is the worst, because you have to be teamed for it to do an actual thing. The race is good for grinding, but it lacks for PvP, so I'm giving it a B tier. Next we have Fish V4, my second favorite race V4. Fish V4 is good for normal grinding, because if you get hit, you will take 0 damage and you can gain back your water shield by hitting the NPC. It is extraordinary for raids just like Angel V4, because you don't take damage, and you can hit the NPC without taking damage. The only part making it lower than Angel V4 for raids is that the NPC can still stun you and break your shield. Once your opponent is in a whirlpool, he takes more damage than normal. This is also as annoying as Angel V4 for PvP, but with different advantages. First, you are very tanky. Second, you can slow your opponent and deal a lot of damage to them. The more you hit your opponent, the more they become slow. So I'm putting this race V4 in the top of A tier, since it is the direct downgrade for Angel V4. Next is Ghoul V4, the coolest race V4. First, I'm gonna talk about an ability of Ghoul V4 that almost nobody knows about. When you transform, your cooldowns take 40% less time to reload. Knowing that, let's rank it for normal grinding. So I think it is quite good, since like Cyborg V4, it is quite easy to attract all the NPC. The problem is that you need to dash a lot for the crows to do decent damage. Because of this, it is the worst for raids, and it is bad for normal grinding. But for PvP, it is quite good. The crows can cancel your opponent's move. For example, if you dash around your opponent a lot, and that your opponent uses a move like Dovey, they will get interrupted thanks to the crows that are still following them. It's hard to land the crows when your opponent is moving around though. But another very good thing is that you can heal a lot by dealing damage to your opponent in PvP. And the last very good thing is that you can spam moves like Dragon Z move thanks to the cooldown reduction. You can reduce 80% reload time of all cooldowns if you have V4 and V3 activated at the same time, which is absolute insanity itself. Knowing all of this mind-blowing information, I will rank it at least A tier, below Fish V4. Next is Mink V4, my favorite V4. For normal grinding, it is decent, because you can infinite stun the NPC in your tornado. You can do the same thing with raid NPC, but they can fight back, so it is very decent for raids. Of course, the speed is barely useful for anything in grinding. For PvP, it is insanely good. If you manage to infinite stun your opponent in the tornadoes while using moves, its speed also really helps for catching runners or running. The tornadoes you leave behind are also useful for running, because you could stun your opponent in them while you're running. So I'm ranking Mink V4 the same as Ghoul V4, because they are equally good for grinding and PvP in their own ways. Next is Human V4, the race V4, that I do not have. Well, even if I do not have it, I still know what it does, so I can rank it. This rank might not be appropriate for Human, because I do not have it. According to what I know, Human V4 would be decent for raids thanks to its berserk damage that just goes up continuously. Same thing for grinding. The flash step does not help for grinding, although it also has the ability to not be interrupted when doing moves, which is almost useless unless you are fighting a Ghoul V4 or Cyborg V4 transformed.
for PvP. I personally fought some human V4 users and they are so scary. If they can hit you, the combos that they do can literally 3-shot you. The 3 charges flash steps are also useful for running or catching runners. As a result, I'm putting human V4 at the bottom of A tier, since it is slightly worse than Ghoul and Mink V4. Make sure to subscribe if you liked this video please. Bye guys.